Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Demetrius Johnson, and you're listening to MMALatestNews.com.
It's time to roll, baby.
What is up, guys? Welcome back to MMA Latest. Now, 2019 is coming to a close. Happy New Year, but it's time to reflect on the fighters of the year. We have got 5 nominations, and starting off at number 5, we've got Valentina Shevchenko. Now, Valentina Shevchenko topped off a fantastic year. She became flyweight champion in 2018, and she made her first defense this year against Jessica Eye in what was a fantastic knockout win. She kicked Jessica Eye's face off and left her in a mess on the floor, and she really showed that she's an absolute killer. Now, we've seen her against Amanda Nunes at bantamweight. She arguably could have got the decision in the second fight, and it's put up more interest in a third fight. Now we've seen Valentina Shevchenko dismiss the strawweight contender in terms of Joanna Jędrzejczyk, who tried to come up and defeat her, didn't go to plan. And of course, she defeated Liz Carmouche in what was a more tentative, a fight that was, it got named as boring. But she did make her second title defense in 2019, of course. So she's going to come through into 2020. Now she's got Caitlin Chookagian in for her third defense, but she had a fantastic 2019 and really showed why she is known as the Bullet. At number 4 is Demetrius Johnson. Now, Demetrius Johnson almost got the short end of the straw when he got traded to the ONE FC for Ben Askren, who came to the Ultimate Fighting Championship, of course. And we know what happened with him. He didn't have the best of years, but Demetrius Johnson has gone from strength to strength. Of course, he lost his belt to Henry Cejudo in 2018, but he went over to Asia and he became the flyweight champion once more. Of course, he went into the tournament somewhat as a favourite, and he came off with 2 decision wins and a guillotine submission victory in his very first fight. Now, Demetrius Johnson is one of the most underrated fighters that we've seen in MMA, of course, of his size at being at 125 pounds. He doesn't get the eyes towards him, but, he's got flying armbar wins on his record, for Christ's sake. He deserves all the plaudits, and he's at number 4 of Fighter of the Year for us. Now, at number 3 is the man who took the belt away from Demetrius Johnson. It's Henry Cejudo. Now, Henry Cejudo came out flying at the start of the year. He was flyweight champion. He had a bantamweight challenger in TJ Dillashaw coming down to his division and challenging him for the title. Now, he said he would save the flyweight division, and he so very much did so, finishing TJ Dillashaw inside the very first round in January on the very first card on ESPN. He then turned sights to the bantamweight division, with the division vacant due to TJ Dillashaw being suspended because of PEDs. We then saw Marlon Moraes take on Henry Cejudo for the vacant bantamweight championship, which Henry Cejudo completely decimated Marlon Moraes in. Now, Marlon Moraes was coming into this very popular, almost as a favourite, being the bigger man and being an absolute killer with some good names on his resume. But Henry Cejudo came, he conquered, and became the Triple C as we know him now. Now, he has relinquished the flyweight championship, but he had a fantastic year despite getting an injury and having to take the remaining 7 months out, should we say. And I'm very excited to see him return. He's very much got this cringe judo sort of thing going on. His gimmick has been somewhat exciting. It's brought some new eyes to the divisions. He hasn't very much needed it, but we've got the likes of Jose Aldo looking for a title shot, perhaps. So Henry Cejudo is going to have his hands full into 2020, but he picks up 3rd place in Fighters of 2019. Now, at number 2, this one got very difficult. I've gone with Israel Adesanya. Now, Adesanya only made his debut in February 2018, and he's flew up the middleweight division and became champion, defeating Robert Whittaker in the 3rd round with a beautiful performance in Australia at UFC 233. Now, he did start the year off main eventing in Australia at UFC 234 against Anderson Silva, the greatest, arguably, and he had a fantastic fight. It was a 3-round fight, a 3-round main event, which is always nice to see at times. Now, of course, it was meant to be Robert Whittaker versus Gastelum on that card. Robert Whittaker pulled out due to an injury, and then we saw UFC 236. Arguably Adesanya's best performance of the year. He came in to Gastelum, who arguably got punished this year, didn't he? He was meant to have the title shot. He had to go through the interim title shot, and things didn't work out for him, and of course he lost to Darren Till. But back to Adesanya, he became the interim champion after getting 2 knockdowns in the final round at UFC 236, and he had a fantastic year, and he's going from strength to strength with the likes of John Jones, who's in the division above, setting targets onto Israel Adesanya. And finally, at number 1 is only one man. It's Jorge Masvidal, of course. Gamebred came back and he conquered the welterweight division. He went to London to see Darren Till, who was many people's favourites. He was meant to be getting the fight against Askren, and it got completely blown away. Masvidal knocked out Darren Till in an unfathomable fashion and completely cleaned up. And then he went to Ben Askren, and we all saw what happened at UFC 235. We saw it on the channel, of course, in the live show, and he flying kneed Ben Askren inside the very first 5 seconds, breaking a record, of course, and really setting his name into superstardom. He then headlined UFC 244 against Nate Diaz and blew Nate Diaz away as well. Nate Diaz is someone who's not been finished in a very long time, and of course this fight was stopped due to the doctors stepping in, but the work that Jorge Masvidal put into that fight really showed the levels in which he has grown since 2017. Of course, he lost to Stephen Thompson at MSG, and then 2 years later, he's headlining the card and becoming the baddest motherfucker in doing so. So yes, Jorge Masvidal is Fighter of the Year. Let us know who you have as Fighter of the Year in the comments below, and any predictions for who you're going to think is 2020 Fighter of the Year. Let us know below. Of course, make sure to follow MMA Latest on Twitter and Instagram, and we'll see you in 2020.